Yeah, but I'm just sorry for the people that can't see us live. Sometimes you haven't missed anything because you wouldn't have heard us, but sometimes I think you might have enjoyed it. I'm sorry for them.
No, I think it makes us less nervous playing to a big crowd than a little crowd. Because if you're playing to a little crowd, they're going to hear what you're playing.
The Beatles at Shea Stadium proudly proclaimed that the concert was filmed and recorded as it happened. Well, that was highly misleading. Most of the sound was not recorded live at the William A. Shea Municipal Stadium in New York, but secretly at a studio in London. The majority of the audio was either overdubbed or completely re-recorded, which was never publicly divulged by the Beatles at the time or since, even in the anthology.
It was the baseball stadium's PA. We were just working off the normal columns, which are, ladies and gentlemen, the next player is, and our stuff was coming out there, so it kind of sounded too good.
The Beatles' performance on that balmy Sunday August night in 1965 was barely audible amongst the screeching of over 55,000 fans. Coupled with the technical limitation of 60s mobile recording equipment, it meant that the recorded sound was unsuitable for film without tarnishing the Beatles' reputation. The Beatles had invented rock stadium concerts, and now they were to pioneer post-production. 5 months after the concert was filmed, the Beatles secretly went to Cine Telly Studios, CTS, in central London to spend a day on post-production work. Their playing had to closely match the film footage, hence the more specialist CTS was used rather than their normal home at EMI Studios in Abbey Road. CTS Studios had very rapidly made a name for itself in the movie post-production world. 4 years earlier, the same studios were used to record the signature tune for one of the most iconic movie franchises, released also on the same day as Love Me Do. The Beatles were no strangers to CTS, having visited there 6 months before to do overdubbing on the A Hard Day's Night movie. There were several photographs taken that time, but no pictures were taken on this day, or at least made public. There was a distinct cloak and dagger feel that these clandestine recordings would impact on the Beatles' reputation. First up, Paul added new bass parts for Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Can't Buy Me Love, I'm Down, and Baby's in Black. John re-recorded his organ parts for I'm Down. No surprise that his excitable, crazed live performance was unusable. Although it is most amusing seeing him play his Vox organ without his hands. Then, at George Martin's own request, came a completely new group recording of I Feel Fine, followed by Help. Nothing was needed to be done to act naturally, as the original studio recording was simply substituted for the live one. Amusingly, you can see Ringo singing with his mouth closed. George Martin also wanted a new recording of Twist and Shout, but there simply wasn't enough time. Instead, An unreleased 30th of August live recording from a later Hollywood Bowl concert was used, together with extensive use of that audience reaction from the Bowl. She's a Woman and Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby required no work, as both had already been shelved to fit into the 48-minute running time. The actual programme time was 1 hour, allowing 12 minutes for commercials. You can hear the audio for Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby on Anthology 2, but strangely in mono rather than the true stereo in which it was recorded.
Well, they took some honey from a tree, dressed it up and they told it.
A 30-minute 4K restoration of the concert was due to be released to accompany Ron Howard's 8 Days a Week in 2016. In the end, it was just used as a supporting feature for the movie and failed to make it to DVD and remains another item locked in Apple's burgeoning archive. Yet again, the audio was replaced and remixed by Giles Martin. Twist and Shout is mostly the studio version with added audience noises. Act Naturally is from the concert, but with the guitar solos added from the studio version. Baby in Black is a mix of the concert and the studio version, whilst Help is the 1966 version they recorded at CTS, and She's a Woman is from the Hollywood Bowl. Continuity errors abounded. Outtakes of George with his Gretsch from the missing Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby appears in A Hard Day's Night, in between him playing the Rickenbacker. Somewhat bizarrely, the film was first aired on BBC One in black and white on the 1st of March 1966, but it was not until the 10th of January 1967 that it appeared on ABC television in the US. The Beatles at Shea Stadium is crying out for an official release with all 12 songs, complete with the original soundtrack, demixed and tidied up. Although not perfect, bootlegs reveal just how good the Beatles could really play live, deafened by a screaming wall of teenagers and without the luxury of fold-back monitors. The Beatles would return to Shea Stadium one final time a year later. Paul would return to CTS with George Martin to record the Family Way soundtrack the following year, and to Shea Stadium for the last time ever that there was to be a concert there in 2008 before it was completely demolished.
Came here a long time ago and we had a blast that night.